What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Hot Take. Today we are in the Topher's S2000. This is an AP1. It has a mod list. I forgot to get it from him. I'll put it in the description. This thing should be a really good experience. It's my first time in a Honda S2000. Everybody says how amazing these cars are. I just hopped out of that. We're filming our clutch review, the UC clutch kit. So I'm really excited to give this a try. Let's go ahead and hop on the road and see how she rips. Uh-oh. Oh, it's the push button start. I feel like an idiot. Get up a little bit. No steering wheel adjustment. Okay, well, in the S2000, you are locked in here.
There's no steering wheel adjustment.
Yeah, I know. I just saw that. Holy smokes, this thing is tight. This is everything we love about a Miata, but with more speed. Of course, we get stuck behind the truck. This is what I get for not leaving early. We'll get a passing zone up here. Car feels very tight, very mechanical. Also sounds really good. Wow. Okay, I've never driven anything like this car. This is insane. Holy smokes. Those brakes are touchy. This is something. I've never driven a car that's quite this tight. So we already talked about the shifter. The suspension is also extremely tight. Communicates very well to the driver. 9,000 RPM. Oh my gosh. Fantastic. This is easily the best of Honda. And it just wants to go, go, go. Fantastic. Stuck behind the Ford Flex, unfortunately. And I love how effortless it is to drive. I don't have to think about it. This is just as effortless as the Miata is. Just pick a gear, throw it, kind of play a little bit with the clutch, the gas, you're in. Ooh. Very stiff suspension, hit a little pothole there. You kind of felt the wheels skip a little bit. Coming from an E36 M3 to this, I'm pretty blown away by how much tighter it feels. You can notice a bit of a torque difference. You really got to get the RPMs up in this car to get the torque out of it. So this is the AP1. So it's the 2 liter with the 9,000 RPM redline, which some people think is more fun, but you can definitely feel down low. There's kind of that lack of torque. Feels phenomenal. It's not particularly fast, but it's not slow by any means. The car's just so small. We'll try 5th. in sixth. Oh yeah, even sixth gear is a pretty aggressive gear. I mean, we're sitting at 3,000 RPM at 55. So let's get on the highway. This thing probably just keeps climbing, and definitely not a highway cruiser. But it's got enough power. It's got all you need. Notice a bit of vibration there as we got lower in the rev range. I mean, that just kind of goes to show you it really doesn't like to sit at 3,000. We don't want to catch up too quickly to traffic. You do kind of have to get it in the VTEC to get your torque, which is kind of the point of the car. Honda wanted you to rev this thing out. The more gas you give it, the more the car tells you to keep going. Fantastic. It's a nice Fiesta ST. Love these brake pads he has on here. These are awesome. That's the sign we like. Kind of hold it tight there. I was told these cars have a tendency to snap oversteer, which I can definitely feel because the suspension is very tight. So I imagine there isn't a lot of warning before it kicks out, and I don't want to learn that for the first time while I have a GoPro on my head. Admittedly, this is the first convertible I've ever driven with the top down. Boxen's driver let me some earmuffs, and Chris kind of coached me on how to film in this thing. So I'm slightly out of my comfort zone, with the exception of actually driving this car. I mean, I've already said it like 1,000 times, but oh, the driver's controls are just fantastic. Oh my God. I have never driven a car in Hot Take that I wanted so much, like for my own. Like exactly how this car's set up, exactly how I want it. No different. I don't want it boosted. I don't want anything different. This clutch feels amazing. The pedal inputs are amazing. I love these brake pads. Maybe a different alignment. I mean, I'd have to drive more of these, but holy smokes. This is so tight. So much tighter than any BMW I've ever driven. With the exception maybe the E36 M3 track car, which is kind of what this is built for. On the other end, this car does beat you up a lot more. I mean, my back's already a little sore. So, I mean, it's a take and give, right? Different car for different things. But it just feels phenomenal. I am so happy I got to drive this today. It is just, it's something else. As I'm kind of learning my automotive taste as I drive more cars, I sometimes get pretty surprised by new cars I drive that I think will be a certain way, but then they aren't. I really thought this is going to be similar to my M3. Excuse me. I really thought this was going to be similar to my M3. I could not have been more wrong. This is a lot closer to the Miata. And honestly, like if you want a Miata, but you're like, oh, well, it's slow, and you want to keep it NA, S2000, baby. And you get more RPMs. And, well, like I said, I want to say it looks cooler. That's objective. I like the look of this. Maybe a little better than Miatas, although I like them both, to be frank. Effortless, completely. I love that so much. You just manhandle it, you throw it in a gear. Ah, it's so fantastic. What I like about this too is the gas pedal is like the perfect weight. The problem I had the Integra Type R is I was struggling so much to find where I had to rev match it, how much gas to give it, because it was so light and it was so touchy. This, it fits like a glove. Because I'm used to German cars that have a really heavy gas pedal. I'll be a little bit nicer to it now. I've had my fun. Man, there's something about this car that you can't put into words. It's just fantastic. I am blown away by this car and how tight it feels, how responsive. It's just so fantastic to drive. So we've now finished our drive of the AP1 S2000. I was wrong about the modifications. You said it
just has brakes, Hawk HPS 5.0 pads, RE71 RS tires, and an airboxectomy. It just kind of opened up airbox for extra noise. That's it.
The VTEC kickover is pretty loud. So you did buy the HPS 5.0s?
Yeah.
They are amazing on this car.
They feel really good, yeah.
On mine, this is an E36 thing, but the brake pedal feels notoriously bad on those cars. Feels completely different on these. It is so good. Honestly, I think it really sums up how I thought it drove. It was just so good. It's everything you want in a Miata, and just a little bit bigger, a little bit faster, more RPMs to play with. Just feels, I don't know, more muscly. It's not totally fair to the NA Miata because that car is a 91. We have, what, 10 years of difference here in development. So maybe I need to drive an NB to get that comparison, but oh, what a car. It was amazing. A lot of you probably already know Chris, but...
Yeah, you had a big grin when you came back.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, with that, let's go ahead and give it a score. Utility. The AP1 Honda S2000 is not very practical. No rear seats, not a lot of seat adjustment, and it rides pretty rough. This is easily the roughest stock car I've ever driven. Storage is also a low point. No glove box, and the trunk is not that large. It gets 1.5 out of 10. Features. Also not a lot in this category. It does have cruise control, power windows, power locks, a good radio, etc. Materials are acceptable. Some leather, some cheap plastic, but overall nice enough for a car like this. It gets 3 out of 10. MPG. The AP1 Honda S2000 was rated 18 city and 24 highway with a combined of 20. It gets a 5 out of 10. Cool factor. The Honda S2000 is a staple in the automotive world. Honda had F1 drivers give input on the car to make sure it drove to the highest standard. However, Honda made over 100,000 of these globally, and a lot of them were saved, since they were always somewhat valuable, making it more of a commonplace than other early 2000s sports cars. It gets a 5.5 out of 10. Driver's feedback. Remember that whole F1 team stuff? It gets a 9.5 out of 10. Acceleration. The AP1 Honda S2000 does 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds. It does start to die off as you go faster and faster, but I think that 0 to 6 number is accurately representative of the speed of the car. It gets a 5 out of 10. Should you buy it? The Honda S2000 is easily one of the best driving factory cars I've ever had the pleasure of being in the driver's seat in. The level of tightness cannot be described in words. Add in Honda reliability and you have a recipe for a great car. But, and this is a big but, dollar to performance is not what it used to be. 20 grand buys you a good AP1. That said, it still gets a 9 out of 15, putting it here on our list. This is our new driver's feedback king, better than the Integra Type R. The AP1 Honda S2000 is the most purpose-built car I've ever driven. Numbers don't do this car justice. Its rawness and visceral feel makes an insane amount of fun to drive on the road. But my back hurt, and honestly, after spending a few hours between this and the AP2, I could not have been happier to hop out of the driver's seat.
Found this the other day.
Oh, the top part? Oh, yeah.
I had no idea.
What?
What? I know.
Oh,
Sorry.
they try to like
glove box.
maximize their storage.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the glove box.
Yeah.
So do you not get one over here then?
Nothing.
No, this is it right here.
Yeah.
Let's hear it close.
And you can fold this guy down too, but I don't know why.
Nice
you
little
want
wind
to.
deflector.
Yeah.
No, it's actually not bad in here. The harmonics are pretty good.